Just know I'm sipping on something. I'm ducking niggas woman. Know that I don't got a problem. I just don't like all the drama. I don't like dealing with karma, and I put that on my mama. So you can catch me sipping something out the bottle. Bitch, I can find just know I'm sipping on something. I'm ducking niggas woman. Know that I don't got a problem. I just don't like all the drama. I don't like dealing with karma, and I put that on my mama. So you can catch me sipping something out the bottle. Too many bitches to be fucking with another nigga bitch. That's that gutter nigga shit, to try to cut a nigga bitch. These niggas bustin' by these bitches, they might touch a nigga quick. See, I'm not fussin' by the bitch, but she gon' fuss about the bitch. Ain't that a bitch? Bitch, I'm a OG, nothing about me counterfeit. If you don't trust her, why the fuck you keepin' niggas round the bitch? I wonder where you found a bitch, probably with a bunch of tricks. On the corner catching licks with the chick. She tryna make that money quick. If it be easy, cause I don't want the chick. Too many bitches on my dick to chase another nigga bitch. Bitch, I only chase my liquor. You niggas know my bitch is thick. So if you love her, then you better come and get her. Bust a nigga. What's cracking? What's happening? It's your big homie, man. Bossman busy. Back in the building. Welcome to Ride Out Radio. Y'all know what it is over here. We discuss hip hop and every aspect of it, entertainment. These motherfuckers be talking about, the weird shit they be talking about, weird shit they be doing. Boss got something to say about it, believe it. Believe it. Salute to my people in the building. Like Miss T's in the building. How you doing, Miss Lady? Hope everything is good your way. But here, we're going to talk. We're going to discuss some things. We'll have a good time, man. It's been a long time, I know. Trying to get my shit together, you feel me? Trying to get my shit together, you feel me? What up, Crucial K? Baby mama in the building. What happened? Is that true crime? What's going on, Miss Lady? Thank you for sliding through. Appreciate y'all for coming through, man. It was all love. It's all love. We'll be discussing some things, so, you know, if y'all want me to drop the link, just say so. I ain't gonna just drop it. But, you know, I don't mind. Matter of fact, I'm gonna open up this thing with a little note that Chloe knows a whole lot about. Talking that jail talk, man. Y'all know how motherfuckers get behind them goddamn bars and start, you know, speaking righteous. Saying this is what I'm gonna do, or this is what I'm doing, change my life. We call that jail talk, man. Y'all know what I'm talking about, too. I know Chloe know. Let's listen to what the homie, Lil Durk, he left us a message. He wanted to let us know what he got going on behind the wall.
I just want to give y'all just an update on my mental, my mind state. You know, I just been reading to get into these books, just working on my patience. I've been reading Pawns in the Game by William Gatkar, Huey P. Newton, Fred Hampton, Elaine Brown, just all the revolutionaries, you know, who've been through something and stand for something that a lot of people don't know of or forgot about. You know, and it's just been sitting on my heart lately to just save the generation, bro. Save these kids. You know, they don't deserve it. I'm just tired of being a pawn for the culture, you know, entertaining and being ignorant, you know what I'm saying? I want to change the world around to being positive. I want to start with saying, like, when it comes to support, you know, I'd be cool because, you know, when Jay-Z went through his situation, you know, he the people's champ. They turned their back on him. Even Drake and Kendrick, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be the first one to just do it, you know what I'm saying? And not saying the first one to do it, but, you know, for these kids, you know, we got to be their heroes. You know what I'm saying? They got to look up to us in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people ain't going to like it. You know, if you can't make money off of it, they ain't going to like it. So I'm going to be the first one to do it. Revolutionary.
Okay, Mr. Revolutionary. I ain't mad at that, man. I ain't mad at that at all. The question is, for me, cap. Second question is for me. I ain't been following the case. I don't know if y'all have been. Are you gonna be able to even get out? I hear rumors here and there that say, he looked like he may be this case. I don't know because I don't follow it. I know Chloe do. Matter of fact, let me just drop this because I ain't finna be doing this all day. So if you want to speak on that, feel free to do so, baby mama. But I know a lot of people who done been to prison. I done heard all that goddamn talk. Yeah, man, I'm reading the Bible, man. They can read you all these goddamn Bible scriptures and they get out. Weeks later, they'll bust a nigga in his goddamn head. Okay. I'm not saying that's the case with Lil Durk. I'm not. But what was your purpose of even leaving that mess? I don't give a fuck what you doing in there, nigga. I don't care what you doing in there. It's what you do when you out here, nigga. That's what matters. Everybody go to jail and want to act right. What happened when you're a kid and you go to timeout? You be quiet, nigga. You be quiet. Why? Because you want to get the fuck out of timeout. Nigga. Don't bring up Chloe, man.
I had to switch up my microphone so I don't do the echo. I had Mama Duck echoing like a mother last night.
So, Chloe, do you call that real or cap, man? What you think?
Well, I decided not to make a video on it because I was going to piss everybody off. So since you brought it up and I wasn't expecting you to bring it up, my first impression, because he's talking about Fred Hampton and all these other revolutionaries, quit playing victim, Dirk.
You say he playing victim?
He's in that mentality state that, the authorities are all doing me wrong. Like they did
while he's in there, they doing him wrong. Is that what he's saying?
Well, yeah, because he's wrongly convicted, and they just hating on him. That type of
thing. So you say that's cap.
Call it what you feel. I call it playing victim, trying to get attention.
Playing victim. Well, to me, it's just jail talk to me. We all had somebody we know, maybe family member or just a friend that, like I said earlier, just don't went to prison.
I was there.
And when they in there, well, they talk great.
They talk great.
This is the person I want to see when you walking on free land.
Yep. But it ain't gonna happen. Because I'm gonna tell you, as soon as you walk out those doors, I only did 2 years. And I had freedom. I was in a very low security place. And I went outside stuff. But as soon as you walk out those doors, even the air is different. And that sounds just like, damn, I could breathe. And everything that you thought on that ride home, that you had thought back there in lockup, it's going out the window. It's just coming out. It's just going away. Because everything happened so fast. You were on a timeout, and the world passed you by. So on that ride home, everybody's filling you in on everything you missed that they couldn't tell you on them recorded phone conversations.
Absolutely.
So now you playing like, oh, I got to handle this. You did what? Depending on what the situation is. Where's my money? Whatever you did. And all that talk you did while you was locked up, it goes out the window. It is.
So, what? Since I got you up here, I guess I can ask because I know you follow the case. What, far as his freedom, I'm possibly walking out of that place. What are the chances?
Well, if they go by the evidence, you're gonna get locked. But I say it like that because I've seen Dirk walk away when they had the evidence before. And that's one thing that I people confuse on my channel about, oh, you hating on him. Look, I've never made it hidden that I'm not a fan of him. But this man has been accused of murder before, of a female, and was caught with the weapon that killed that female. And he still got it.
Well, I don't know. We done witnessed Jeffrey, which we're gonna talk about him a little later in the show, aka Young Thug, walk out. Talking about young Thug. I thought he was done. Until they just, I think, purposely fucked that whole case up. I think they fucked up Diddy case as well. I think he should have got more time, but that's just my opinion. So to fuck up or for that shit to be done purpose is the only thing I'd be wondering when those cases look like it's still open and shut, and the next thing you know, these motherfuckers walking out, you're like, how in the fuck did that happen? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's
it depends on the evidence. Is that how much of it is going to be coming from the cooperators? And that's going to be a big problem right there, because the cooperators are going to be shown as they're liars, they're criminals, but they're also witnesses. And what kind of witnesses do you expect to be viewing in a crime except for other criminals?
So you saying they worth shit is what you saying?
Well, let me ask you. Okay, you've had more than one bank card attached to your bank account, yes?
Correct.
And whoever had that other bank card, you knew who had it.
Right.
And when charges came through, you saw what it was.
Right. Absolutely.
And if there was anything of any question, like you being on the other side of that person being on the other side of the United States buying face masks and renting out cars and hotel rooms.
I get it.
You ain't gonna raise a question. You ain't gonna be the first one. Officer, they stole my debit card.
Absolutely.
Unless you connect it.
I mean, that part of the case, I mean, that to me is like, that was, you can't point the finger at nobody else, put it that way. You can't.
Because, and in this case, one of the cards that was used was his personal card that he gave to somebody to use.
That was stupid.
Can I borrow your debit card? I got a crime to commit.
Let's welcome my homie Jizzle's in the building. What's going on, YJ?
Hey.
What's good?
Cool, man.
Good?
Cool.
Chilling,
Yeah, I've been talking about this. I don't know if you heard the little, I guess it was a message for his fans or his people. Let us know what he was doing. And he's saying he's reading books, elevating his mind, trying to vibrate at higher frequencies and shit like that.
You talking about Dirk?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see something saying he had converted like 8 people to Islam or something. I don't know. It just ran across my timeline. Like Dirk has converted 9 people to, and then it had them sitting there in that, that same picture they got.
So this is like I asked Corey, man, you like, I know pretty much, I don't know, I ain't gonna assume, but have you ever had a friend, family member, or whatever who been locked up? You talked to them while they was locked up, and they gave us that good positive energy that they're gonna do right when they get out. You ever had that conversation?
I wish I did. I wish I did.
Well, let's just take it back to your childhood days. When your friend, either you or a friend, cousin, got put in timeout. Didn't they be quiet in timeout?
I'll be good.
I'm gonna be good.
Yeah.
Why were they good in timeout?
Well, yeah, you got caught. You got caught doing something. So, that's the whole thing. You change when you get caught. If the change come before, so it's that old,
And you want to get out of that motherfucker. So my question is, do you believe? And I'm not, again, let me say this for the people who's watching. I'm not saying a man or a woman cannot change, but do you believe it, Jizzle?
I don't think I got enough information.
Hold on.
Hey,
man,
but he does come from a background of.
Let's listen to a little bit of this. We ain't gonna listen to the whole thing.
I just want to give y'all just an update on my mental, my mind state. I just been reading, getting into these books, just working on my patience. I've been reading Pawns in the Game by William Gaccard, Huey P. Newton, Fred Hampton, Elaine Brown, just all the revolutionaries, you know, who've been through something and stand for something that a lot of people don't know of or forgot about. You know, and it's just been sitting on my heart lately to just save the generation, bro. Save these kids. You know.
I'm glad to hear that. I mean, like I said, he does come from somewhat of a background of having that around in his household, childhood, etc.
What?
So
What?
yeah,
His daddy was locked up. That wasn't in his household.
Well, not in his household, but he knows about it. He knows of it. He
He knows
Isn't he
that
like a
every
part
time
of-
one of his friends got locked up, they turned Muslim.
Oh, that's what it is. Because I was just going to ask you, isn't he like a Muslim or some shit like that?
When Boss Top, really, I could say, and Tay Savage, those two are the only ones that I could see are actually following through with the beliefs that the Muslims have. All the other ones
in
that I
his
see,
name. What's his name? What's his government name?
Bossman.
I thought it was his uncle. I remember him saying something about his uncle. I think it was on 7220. He was talking about somebody in his family. I swore was Muslim.
His
Or
daddy,
something, man. Okay, that was
his daddy,
pop.
his daddy became Muslim while he was locked up with Larry Hoover, and
His mom
went,
wasn't.
He was right. She wasn't practicing. Put it that way. But they weren't together. They did their own separate thing when he got locked up.
Okay, I swore it was his uncle or someone else who he was around. I don't know, but hey, if that's the road he choosing to go, and all them, Fred Hamptons and things, hey, he not
Okay,
reading
well,
that. If he said Donald, he could be reading Donald Goins, and he might be reading that too. But hey,
King Von was a Muslim too.
It doesn't really matter what religion.
But that, you see what I'm saying? It's you can put a label on yourself. That doesn't mean that you're following through with what you're supposed to when you become that label.
Well,
If you want to be,
Well, I sound like you in a hallway.
because I'm on this other microphone, so I don't echo with the speaker.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay, I got you. All right.
Hold on, it might be my bird. What you call that thing?
Is
Is that better?
Don't worry about it, you fine. It ain't no echo. It's just like damn hallway or somewhere.
No, I mean
just the reverb.
The reverb, yeah. Turn the reverb down.
Which way to turn it? This way, that way?
There you go.
That's,
Right
all
there.
right.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter the religion. The religion doesn't matter. Whatever.
No, but what I'm saying, whether you say you're Catholic, Christian, whatever, you don't have to announce it. You could see it in your walk.
There you go, and that's the point I was trying to make. I don't want to hear you leaving us a message to let us know you're doing this or doing that, because that's just like, just how people record things when they're doing something positive in the community. You be like, why are you recording?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. Why are you out here telling us what you're doing? We don't care. You know what I'm saying? We gonna see your walk when you walk up out of there. Yeah, you
Now,
can make us all these promises and then break every last one on as soon as you step on free lane.
Let me throw this into the mix. This is something that I heard off of Chicago World News about a year ago. Was talking about people that are snitching to get out of trouble, and he said that these people, he was talking about Christians and Muslims, both believe that it's against their beliefs for you to snitch, or try to get somebody else in trouble to get yourself out of trouble. Because God said, if you did the wrong by man's law, you have to follow through with the punishment of man's law. You're not supposed to be trying to find these loopholes to try to make yourself be something so that you can get out of punishment. You still have to have your punishment.
Right.
So whether he is or he isn't is irrelevant, because by
you got
those
to atone
rules
for the shit.
Exactly. By those rules, you still have to follow through with your punishment And then when you get to the afterlife, you still got to answer again.
Hold on, where's that read at?
Where's that read at?
Yeah, I mean, where did you hear that from? Like, I mean, it sounds accurate, but I never heard that before.
I heard it on a video that a guy was he does a lot of history stuff, and he was talking about something totally different, but it struck me what he said, and I started researching in the Bible, and I didn't find a specific verse that said God said don't be snitching on others to get yourself out of trouble. But if you think about the teachings that we were taught in Christianity, God said you gotta be punished for your wrongdoings. You gotta go ask for forgiveness. You gotta confess, and and when we're on earth, we gotta go by man's law, and man's law says there comes a punishment. Now, sometimes you get lucky, you get a plea bargain, you get probation, but you don't try to put something off on somebody else to get yourself out of trouble.
I gotta find that because I mean, law enforcement. I know you haven't seen people get pulled over on the highway, caught with a shitload of dope, right? And the first thing they do, especially if they've been on this highway waiting for someone like you, they want to get the big dog. They don't want you, and they go ahead and offer you some shit. Do you consider that a part of the law? Because they're giving you that option to walk free, not because you just said, you know what? Let me tell y'all something so I can get out. They're actually providing you a choice.
Well, I can tell you this from personal experience. When it was offered, I told them, ain't nobody to blame, because I was smart enough to know that police officers don't have the authority to approve that anyway. They still got to go through the DA, and the DA has to approve that. So I'd sit there. If I would have sat there and said, so-and-so, now I just opened the door to somebody else, and that officer ain't even got the authority to make like he said, make these charges go bye-bye while I'm handcuffed to the bench in the precinct. What, you just gonna unhandcuff me and let me walk out? Come on, I ain't stupid.
Well, it kind of does make sense when I think about it. We got another thing we're gonna talk about a little later in the show as well. Is whenever there is something that God says He's against, but man allows it, in a sense, it's not your place to judge. So I get that in a sense, because if you got locked up for doing wrong, take that lick. You got to take it. You know what I'm saying? If you do something differently, hey, nobody can judge you but God. So we'll leave that with Him. But I want to switch gears a little bit.
I'm gonna get down off of here. But did you see my message or my comment about the killing fields?
No, you left it in the chat. In the chat,
they caught another one of the serial killers, or they indicted them yesterday in Texas for the killing fields.
Me and YJ talked about that too.
You talk about Houston and bodies in the waters and shit.
Well, I mean, what people don't understand is there's a lot of people that's dumped bodies. They just happen to indict another one. It ain't just been one or two. There's been a lot, especially when it got into the 90s and 2000s. These men decided they met tired of their wife. Oh, let me just drive down to 45 and go throw her ass out. I'm just saying that's what they were doing. I lived there. I know.
We talked about it.
Yeah, I lived there. I know. But hey, much love to everybody. I appreciate you. Dirk, put your big boy drawers on and handle your business.
All right.
Quit pointing fingers.
Your loyalty and betrayal. You know, Chloe knows about that case, so I'm glad she actually came up and spoke. But you know, like I said, I'm not saying Dirk can't change. I'm not saying nobody can't change. But I just feel like just getting on the phone and leaving that message for us to hear, it just seemed weird as fuck to me. I'm sorry. If you feel some type of way, hit the link, come up here with us. Let me just run through the chat real quick. Shout out people that's in the building. What up, D Love's in the building? Uncle G, what's going on, bro? Now Oracle's in the building. How you doing? She said, greetings, good evening to you, Boss Blake. Hey, I'm trying. Appreciate you for sliding through. Also, thank you for leaving comments, man, on the videos. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So we're gonna switch. We're gonna move on to our next topic. And this one right here, we're gonna lighten the mood just a little bit. Cause this is funny as fuck to me. Ray J gotta learn how to shut the fuck up sometimes, Jizzle. You wanna know what I'm talking about? Y'all check this out, man.
Hey yo, I ain't seen the whole Verzuz, but I know Tyrese was trash. You know, Tyrese was worse than I was on Verzuz, you know, and I could feel it. I could just feel the turtleneck and the anxiety in his voice and in his mood. Tyrese was trash. I think Tank won. And that's before I even finished watching it, but I can feel the anxiety and the insecurity in Tyrese's voice and his look and his mannerism. Tyrese is completely trash. He always has been. I didn't just say it, The Rock said it as well. Even though he's from Watts, it's just, I think there's much more talent than people from Watts that should have got a chance to drink the Coca-Cola bottle and experience love and life. I mean, this is a dude that that definitely cost Dr. Dre $300 million, and he just got his $1 billion back. And even though I'm crazy, and yeah, I'm nobody to be saying nothing about nobody on Verzuz, but Tyrese's Verzuz was worse than mine. And I think that Brandy is his friend, so, you know, it's all good, but I think Tyrese was trash tonight.
Well, I wish I know being in love, so feel me, pretty baby. I make one wish and I wish it all on you.
Yeah. Who the fuck did he versus? I can't remember who did he versus. Was it Omarion?
I think it was Omarion.
Okay, yeah, that shit down there went viral because that shit was all bad.
Yeah, we know Tyrese. Excuse me. We know Ray J. He gets online and to me, he's almost turned into a less educated Kanye 2.0, man. He gets up here and says the dumbest shit sometimes. Now, everybody have an opinion about who won the versus between Tyrese and Tank. And me personally, I think Tank did win.
Yeah.
But
there's only one opinion.
Yeah, it's one opinion. But he started the fucking live off saying he think he lost. And then he went into saying he was trash. He's always been trash. Even The Rock said he's trash. Okay, now you're getting personal. Like, Tyrese can sing better than you, Ray J. I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
That shit I heard. Yeah, Ray J, he missed some notes. Tyrese, he missed some notes. You know, but it wasn't that what he did. What I just heard on that, it wasn't that. I didn't hear Tyrese do that.
No.
But yeah, Tank clearly won that. And if it would have been Tyrese versus Ray J, guess who would have won?
Tank.
I said Tyrese versus Ray. Tyrese versus Ray J.
Oh, Tyrese would have beat him. He would have destroyed him.
Right. So if he calling someone trash who would beat him in the verses. That shit don't make sense.
Yeah. And let me just read a couple of comments. I want to dig a little bit deeper into Ray J's mental. Ms. T said he tries to stay relevant. Absolutely. In any content, anything he does on his live or whatever, he feels it's gonna get him paid. He said this. Let's see. Loyalty and Betrayal, it sounds like a hater. He said, if you are crazy, you don't say you are. Absolutely.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Absolutely.
What's
If
wrong
you're
with that?
crazy, you don't say you're crazy, bro. Who does that?
Oh, well, I mean, he know. I mean, some people. Yeah, you know, if you crazy, you crazy. Like you know you ain't right.
Do
So
you?
you saying? Are you just saying there's an imbalance? There's an imbalance instead of saying I'm crazy. I'm just sometimes I just a little throwed off.
So
It just need to be. Go ahead.
let me take it to true crime on your ass, just you go up there after you just killed somebody.
Oh, here.
No.
Go ahead. I'm listening. I gotta grab me a drink real quick.
All right. You get up there and you say, I'm not mentally, capable of really standing trial. I'm not rap type. Or, it was a passion, what they call it, passion, crime of passion. And you really don't even care about that motherfucker. You happy they cheated and they left, but you decide to kill him anyway. But if you get up there on that stand and say, I'm crazy, the judge is going to look at you like, who the fuck you think you fooling? Nobody calls themselves crazy, bro. When they're actually crazy, they don't do that.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit because you say crazy, to some people crazy is subjective. But yeah, I get what you're saying in that sense. Yeah, I'm a little thrown off, or something like that. People might be, the way they use crazy is different. In the court of law, it means only one thing though. So it's real easy to detect that when that, so.
What's up, Miss Young? Appreciate you for joining us. D-Love say crazy people don't know they're crazy because they're crazy. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Like, let's talk about Kanye. Kanye said to us that they were actually trying to get him to take this medication to actually make him crazy. You remember he said something like that?
I remember he said something about some medication. I can't remember exactly what he said.
Well, it makes me wonder, did he actually take fucking medication? Because we did start to see a different Kanye West over the years. Now, I will say Kanye's been quiet. He just dropped the album. The album was horrible, but he wasn't rapping like he was crazy now, was he?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
So what do we say about the things that Kanye's been doing prior to this silent Kanye that made us be like, what the fuck? And I ain't just talking about because he supports Trump and all that, but it's a lot of shit he has said and done over the years make you wonder what the fuck is wrong with him, bro.
Right. Yeah, he a little thrown off as well. I think as far as his music, I think what did Breakfast Club say that something about if he would just be more vulnerable on his projects, people would take it differently or take his music differently. But like they said, I think his music, shit was trash. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
But I don't think crazy people can make beats, get in a studio and produce with other people, bro. Like, think about it, because you have to have some type of communication with the other producers to make what you're trying to make happen. So there has to be some type of human conversation that we all can understand, right?
Yeah, and I think it's more it's not just crazy. Crazy is if you look at the word crazy, there's a tree branch, 10 different tree branches off of types of crazy. There's different
I
types
feel
of
you.
so just like how there's some people on the spectrum, hell, some people on the spectrum functioning completely perfectly well. I feel like the term crazy is very subjective, and there's many different types of it, and the dose of crazy that Ray J got, that might be a little bit different than the dose that Ye got. But
Okay, so earlier I said I want to dig into to his mental state, and if y'all been following Ray J, some weeks ago, probably even long as a month, he said he was about to die. He's dying. Just so you know what the fuck I said to you, and I know what you said to me.
yeah,
Just listening to him after that announcement. Hey, i.e. Tyrese, it's trash. Do you still feel like he's dying, or this is content for Ray J just to get up here and say shit like that?
it's content.
It's content.
If we can call it that. I hate to put that term content on every fucking thing, but yeah, it's definitely some plays going on.
Some
It's
plays.
some plays.
It's
Yeah.
some plays.
It's some plays.
That's some fucked up ass plays. That's just like
He
going to your boss saying, I gotta leave work because my mom was in a car accident, she's dying. It's just some things you just don't do, bro.
Well, that shit, like you said, he sat up there and told us. He sat up there and told us, man, I see my like my Instagram, I see cause and effect. When I do this, I see this. When I get this money from doing this, and if I'm doing this, I get that money. So I mean, he sat up there and told us basically in plain English, like, look, man, I'm about to act out for this check. So
that's what it sounds like. Miss T, no, I'm not saying crazy people rap better. I'm not saying that at all. Because whether he's crazy or not, I guess we're talking about Kanye at this point, his last album was trash. Sorry. And if he's crazy at this moment, then no. I don't think he put out a good album since we got this new Kanye. And you can disagree if you want to. That's my opinion. There hasn't been a good album from Kanye since he become Kanye 2.0.
Yeah, that he hasn't had a classic since. Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Floyd say, when you've been diagnosed with a mental health disturbance, I don't know what the hell that word is, but I know what you're saying. The medication they put you on will make you feel like you're crazy and you don't want to take it, but if you take it, you get better. I've heard that. They said make you feel like a zombie and shit, and you don't want to
like
feel
a robot.
like
Like a robot.
But if it makes you feel that way, her final statement was, if you take it, you get better. Get better under whose eyes? The patient or the people that's around him who's dealing with the crazy?
And I can even think of like when people, like when we diagnose a 13-year-old and give, hyperactive, what is it? The ADHD medicine and all that shit. Them kids get on that shit and they don't like how it feels. Cause like if it takes it takes like the color out of life type of thing is what I've heard it explained as. And who the fuck want that shit? Like you've been living this big colorful life and you take this medicine and all you can see is gray, black, and white.
No, hell no. Nah, hell no. Miss C said, who's dying? Ray J said he was dying, Miss T. He was saying because of all the drugs he's been taking over his career and his body is shutting down and all that shit.
I agree.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I like what Niles Oracle said. Crazy people are undisciplined, and I'll just leave it at that. I don't know if there's a way to actually teach discipline, but I do think there is, and I do think it comes from childhood because discipline is one thing that I feel like, as far as us humans in general, I feel like is one of the most monumental properties of a human is discipline. And other things will fall in line simply with just that one thing type of thing. Like,
hold on now. You said you feel like you can teach discipline. Now we talking about somebody that's crazy, not someone who's normal.
right.
Because let's think about it. You got a person who has Tourette's who just screams out random shit. You can't discipline. You can't stop that from happening. They can't help it. It's a reaction they can't control. So how can you discipline that?
And I'm speaking from my point of view, but I do think there's I mean, you got people go to the Army. I'm just trying to think of, when it comes to discipline and people going through systems to build up discipline. You got people who acted out in junior high. They get in high school, get a workout regimen and start, building some kind of discipline, and it helps them flourish type of thing. Being under some type of system, having a regimen, going to here, training here, after school, and I think over time, yeah, I do think it can help.
I think it really depends on whatever the issue is as far as mental health that they're dealing with, if it's even mental health. If it's something that, like autism, when a kid or a person goes missing with autism, they don't know they can't swim, but they are attracted to water. And they will go out in that water. How can you train them to stop doing that when that's just something that's attached to that mental illness that they have? You feel that makes sense?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think with it, like I'm saying, like as far as the spectrums and all that, it's a lot of different caveats to all of these different things. So,
yeah. Like I said, it just depends on what it is. But we're gonna keep it moving.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep it moving. Got a couple of more things we're gonna touch on. And make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, but everybody I see here, I know you subscribe. And I salute y'all for being here with your boy. Live Radio Ride Out. So we done talked about Ray J. We done talked about Dirt. I want to talk about this fella right here. And I want y'all to listen to what he say throughout this whole video, because we're going to talk about it. At first, when I heard Boosie make this statement, I said, man, Boosie is on something. But as I didn't hear the video and what he said, but after I did, I was like, maybe he's right. Y'all tell me what y'all think. R. Kelly will beat MJ in the Verzuz. Check out what Boosie said.
I just started tanking, Verzuz. I just wish two things so I could prove my point to the world. I wish Michael Jackson wasn't dead and R. Kelly was free, so they could do a verse. R. Kelly will smoke Michael Jackson. So a lot of y'all might get in y'all feelings, but R. Kelly will smoke Mike. Wouldn't even be close. You could ask somebody else with Michael Jackson, and they can't beat R. Kelly. That nigga kills. They gonna put your ass in the closet, bring you out the closet. You want the braids, the flat top, the bald head. Real. Now, I ain't talking about stage performance. Ain't nobody on mic, bro. And versus song for song, and R. Kelly gonna smoke Michael Jackson. Gonna be front row. R. Kelly will smoke Michael Jackson. Not even, it won't be even close. It won't be even close.
Miss T.
JV against Bossman.
I agree.
Real. A lot of people don't want to keep real, but I'm gonna keep it 100. How many Michael Jackson songs you know? And how many R. Kelly songs you know?
All right. You don't want to hear nobody say anything like any person would smoke Michael Jackson in what he does. Jizzle, we touched this a little bit the other day. Michael Jackson is the king of what?
Pop.
Bro, R. Kelly is the king of what?
R&B.
R&B. We talking about two different genres of music, people.
Right.
For one, that normally doesn't happen when they put these verses together. But let's just say they did. I'm going to start with you. I'm going to ask this question. And this question is for everybody. Who do you listen to more? And I know what R. Kelly is been convicted of, and his ass needs to be sitting exactly where he's supposed to be sitting.
Right.
Who you listen to more, R. Kelly or Michael Jackson? Jizzle.
Well, and this is a completely honest answer. You know, I'm not a huge R&B fan. If I go back and listen to someone's catalog, I'm probably going back to listen to hip hop. So, you know, take that before as a preface. Okay. But over the past year, I can say I've listened to the song Butterflies more than I've listened to R. Kelly songs. I haven't gone back and maybe that's just by coincidence, but that song lives on my playlist. I'll say that.
Classic song. Classic song. And I believe that song to me will be considered R&B. R&B. We agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. Me, myself personally, I think everybody loves Michael Jackson. I think a lot of us love R. Kelly. How often do I go back and listen to R. Kelly versus Michael Jackson? It's overwhelming R. Kelly.
Landslide.
Slide, bro. Now, does that mean R. Kelly is better than Michael Jackson? No, that's not what it means. It means that I prefer to listen to R. Kelly. I relate to R. Kelly's music more than Michael Jackson.
Right.
Michael Jackson is one of the greatest artists, performers of all time, if not the greatest. I think Chris Brown is pushing for that performer part, but that's not no idea. But I'm only saying this because of what Boosie said. I'm not talking about performance. We talking about music. And go ahead.
One thing you said was you relate to R. Kelly more than you do Mike. And when you said that
it's music.
Right. Yeah. Let me make that clear. His music you relate to more. Okay, that's good. I kind of want to dive into that on a general sense, far as what you got the king of R&B and king of pop, and you relate to the king of R&B more than you do the king of pop. But what I will just say to that, pop music is like, how do you relate to pop music? Like R&B is much more. There's much more feeling. There's much more emotion. Like it's easier to relate to. Pop music is such a surface level, the topics are surface level. It's nothing really just deeper because it's pop music. Things that are pop are things that the masses can latch on to after listening to 2 times, and they understand every word and every feeling within it. As far as pop music, R&B music is much deeper than that. So I respect that when you say that.
And you know what? I'm glad you said what you just said, because when you think of popular music, you would think Michael Jackson should win by a landslide because he does popular
Right.
music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? R. Kelly he's really into a genre where it's, it's like you said, it's deep. It's love, soul, heartbreak, all of that. It's a lot of different aspects to R&B music. And I guess you can't say about pop, but it doesn't have to mean a goddamn thing. All it got to do is be something catchy and something that you like to hear.
Right. And we've all heard the R. Kelly song. R. Kelly will have a song called Oven Mitt, and he will relate this woman's body part to an oven mitt and give you 1,000 references in that song to how he's gonna fill up that oven mitt. Like it's a lot more room for creativity in the realm of R&B. I'll say that.
Miss T said, I was in love with Michael, and some of his songs made me cry. Hell, Miss T, people would go to Michael Jackson concerts and cry just because of the sight of him.
Yeah.
Why? I have no fucking idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's true. And the thing about it, in a Verzuz, say if they fill up a stadium, hypothetically, they Verzuz battle, they at Texas Stadium where the Cowboys play. When Mike touches that state, there's nothing R. Kelly can do or will be able to do when it comes to that crowd, because it will be too much.
They might not even get a chance to perform because they're not gonna shut the fuck up. The crowd is gonna go fucking insane, bro.
Right.
For real.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Go ahead.
Nah, I'm sitting looking what Chloe said. Baby making music versus bubblegum music. I now that I read it a second time, I don't know about bubblegum, but yeah, I get it.
And one thing, and I know this is not a part of the Verzuz, but actually it is somewhat. Mike didn't write. Correct me if I'm wrong. He didn't write his own music, did he? Or did he?
He worked with Quincy Jones. He worked with other people. I'm not gonna say he didn't write none of it, because he did every damn thing in the studio. From what I, as far as background, I can't see him sitting up doing all his harmony parts, all this, all that, and then not having nothing to do with the writing. But definitely Quincy Jones played a part.
You talk about R. Kelly. Not only is he responsible for his hits, and boy, do he got a lot of them. But that dude is responsible for a lot of hits that he didn't even sing, but he wrote. Yeah. And we know Kells wrote for probably half, if not over half, the industry.
Didn't Kells write a song for Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
I swore I remember seeing a clip, someone talking about that.
So if you sit back and look at the picture as a whole, Boosie, he ain't too far off, bro. Not to me. Now, how people react to Michael is totally different. They don't react to Kells like that. Yeah. But to Michael, they faking and shit, all that.
Fall out, yeah.
But Kells got a shitload of hits under his belt that he didn't even write. Didn't even sing, but he wrote.
Yeah, played the music and all that. So, yeah.
Don't shit on Robert now.
And the only
Robert
thing
did-
Boosie
he
got,
fucked up
and
shit.
I'll just go back to the genre disparity between the two. And that's the only thing. That's the only place he fucked up really at was the genre difference.
The genre different. Yeah. Okay, I feel what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to touch on that and give a different aspect or a different view on it because a lot of people just try to crucify Boosie because of what he said. But when you listen to the whole video, instead of just hearing Boosie said R. Kelly was smoke Michael Jackson, listen to what the hell he said in the video for yourself before you make the decision. Because R. Kelly is that man. He do some fucked up shit. He does some fucked up ass shit. But he's one of the best.
Yeah. He said smoke. Now, I think that may be another reason why people is because he said smoke. Smoke would be Ray J versus R. Kelly. That would be smoke. Like we not in that thing, there's not gonna be no smoke either way. So that's all. What about the Mo 3? I don't know. Yellow, yeah, I'll let you do that. I ain't.
Well, to be honest with you, Uncle G, well, that's a whole nother live, bro.
Right.
It's so much that I've been, paying attention to, but I try to stay out of that Mo 3 sector because it gets messy over there, bro. But maybe, just maybe, I might come back and do another live just for that case because the way I feel about it, they need to watch that motherfucker Rainwater. I'm sorry. Watch that motherfucker Rainwater. I'm going to just say that because that's not what this live about. But I will say, I don't trust Rainwater, bro. I don't trust him. And also, Trap Boy Freddy and the other boy.
Shit.
What's the other boy's name? Who name ain't been brought up in the case at all? What's his name, man?
Yeah, yo.
He had that big song out before mostly all of them. And he had an issue with Mo 3 in the studio because he had somebody on the phone. What's that nigga name, man? Some dude was in the studio. He tried to get Mo 3 to come to the studio. Mo 3 got on the phone. He did an interview. He did an interview on an academic show talking in big shit. I can't think of it. Not Yayo. Why the fuck am I thinking Yaya? What his fucking name is? Anyway, yeah, I might just do a video on that, man. Come back and do a live on that. But I just try to stay out of that Mo 3 sector because that shit is messy as fuck over there, bro. But we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna keep it rolling. And I told y'all earlier when we was talking about who was it? I think we was talking about Lil Durk. Said we're gonna go back and talk about Jeffrey. Old Jeffrey, aka Young Thug. I just want to say this, man. This small 5'7", 5'6", 5'8", glass eye motherfucker is the biggest gangster in entertainment right now. These motherfuckers, they fear this dude. Who am I talking about? Charleston.
Man. Jeffrey Williams on probation, aka King Slime, aka Young Thug. You said we step on shit. Your other brother, your goon with the gang chain, the YSL spider chain, pretending to clutch a gun as he was assuming to be brandishing and holding the gun, said don't lose your life. I am now in fear of my life. Swear to God I am. I'm in contact with my attorney. First thing Monday morning, we will be going to the courts to file a restraining order against you for my protection. Not only that, I will be contacting the federal authorities because you made a threat while possessing a gun on federal property, a private airport. I'm pressing charges on you, Jeffrey. I know you're on probation. You finna go to jail. I swear to God, you will. I'm doing everything because you got me afraid for my life. You are a gang leader. And I'm contacting your probation officer. I'm sending her the video to show that you was there and you was with gang members. I got the pictures and the photos of every guy you was with. Swear to God, I do. You have no business bother me, nigga. But you got the right one, Jeffrey. Yeah. Jeffrey King Slime. Finna slime your ass right into Fannie Willie's hands.
They ain't ready for that, mate. That nigga told gun. Man, nigga. Man, that nigga approach me. Now, catch the foot, gang.
Oh, what was that at the end?
That was where the situation actually happened at. That was him and I guess Young Thug Camp. And
people gonna learn to stop fucking with these trolls, man. 50 Cent, Charleston White, man, just let them be. Just let them be.
that I get it. I feel you. And I think a lot of people has taken heed to that statement that you just made. Because a lot of these people, hell, I think a lot of us, period, nobody want to go to prison. Nobody want to go to jail. He's letting you know up front, if you fuck with me, you're going to jail. Before you can do anything to me, and you know how these idiots is on social media, they go to talking before they do what they want to do or what they're supposed to do. They go to talking. Now, he's going to send them folks to get you.
But you know, I done heard him say that about everybody. Like, he said that damn near about every person that he's had an issue with online. And has any of these people been locked up because anything that he's done behind the scenes?
Not that I know of. I can't speak for it. No.
Yeah, he, you know, but when he says it, it sound good. It sound good. You know, he's on probation. You know, they know the stipulations of the probation is you can't interact with gang members and you gotta get. So it's like, well, damn, he got to put. But I don't know.
I think it's the threat in itself and the fact that you can't use being the snitch against him to put dirt on his name as someone in the public's eyes, because he doesn't care about that snitch title. He don't give two shits about it. So it's like for a person who's ready to die, how can you scare them? You can't. You can't scare them. Right. So it's like, I can't send no threats his way, because as soon as I do, he's going to use that against me. And I can't even get to him, because if I get locked up, the people that Mike was going to use, they ain't going to do nothing to him, because I'm locked up. And now they're going to tie me to him. Nope.
Yeah, you got
biggest goddamn smallest gangster in the world right now, bro.
You got treat him, in the words of Bossman, but you got to treat that man with a long handle spoon, man. It's just he treat him like he just a nobody. That guy who's just, you know, bumping his gun. See him out in public, act like you don't see him. I don't see no other way.
Chloe said he's a civilian. Yeah, and we know civilians get away with a lot of shit because they are a civilian. I'm not considered a thug. I'm not a gangster. I'm a civilian. I'm gonna tell on your ass. What you gonna say about me? Bitch, I'm a civilian. You the gangster. He uses that. But yeah. I believe a lot of times he also include himself in people issues, like he done did T.I. the same way, he done did Boosie the same way. Yeah. He even fucked with 50 a little bit, just a little bit. because he know 50. But when he or put himself in your situation, it takes a lot of restraint for someone to say, man, I want to fuck you up, bro. You can't. That's a threat. He knows that. Charleston White knows the law, bro. And he will use that shit against you if you fuck with him.
So the people who are responding to him, do they care too much about public perception? Because that's all he's dealing with. Is
exactly.
The perception of what, whatever kind of energy he bringing or whatnot. It's like, man, that don't even respect the goddamn the energy or whatever he bringing. Like it's he like that gnat. Like how you said about 50. 50 is that gnat.
He's a big ass gnat.
And you just can't get rid of that motherfucker. He latch on your ass and he, live here, live there, live here, pulling guns out, flamethrowers and shit. Like, man.
It's one thing about it, bro, and what you said, for those who do respond or react to this dude, it's pride, bro. It's pride. And I think whatever the issue was with him and Young Thug when they was in the same vicinity, and Young Thug allegedly made that comment that he said he made about, bitch, we step on shit. You don't get killed or you don't want to die. Whatever the case he was, allegedly, this is what was said. He said that because whatever CW said to him, whether it was in that setting or online, Young Thug, it bothered him. Like, man, I can't just sit here and not say something to him to let him know I heard what the fuck you said.
Right.
And that's all CW wants you to do is respond, react in a way that he can use that shit against you. So it comes to a point where you have to use your brain and don't react off of emotion. It's hard, but that's just the only way to defeat this little small ass gangster.
Right.
That's all. Yeah, man. I think I got one more we can get up out of here, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all too much longer. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, man. Last but not least, and I don't you know what? I asked that too, but one of them I don't think I want to touch on. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it in the private chat. You tell me which one. We'll leave it at that. In the meantime, while I do that, people, y'all check this out, man. Y'all check this out if I can find it. Is that it? Nope, that ain't it.
What you rapping about in that song, Bossman?
Shout out to KB for that beat.
I'm not your average, I am a package. I'm not bringing no baggage. If we committed to know there was never a tag, just know I would never look past you. I'ma be there till we put a nigga in a casket. Then I'ma be on the mattress next to your body where we making magic, where we competing on who come the fastest. My baby the baddest, my love is just like a class. I go to war if you harass her. She know I'm real, them niggas they faking they have. I went to school just for my masters. I do what I have to, so we go to the next chapter. The memories we gotta capture. Give me a lifetime that's filled up with laughter, and now I'm prepared for what's coming up after. And I know the little things and all of the good it brings. I gotta show love to my little queen. Stay focused on what is in front of me. Keep my little lovely up under me. We will not live like we wanna be, and they can see just what they wanna see. Cause there's only one queen that I'm gonna need. I know it's the little things. thing that keep you so full of me, that I have to keep pushing me. As long as you real and stay good to me, we know anything else that it shouldn't be. The bigger the vision, the bigger the dream. The bigger we live in, the bigger the team. I will not forget about the little things. I wanna live out your hopes and your dreams. It's important to you, it's important to me. If we sticking together, the force we could be. Ain't no telling how rich that we fixing to be. When I was picking your ring, I was picking my team. Cause I knew in my heart that I would never leave. Cause this is the place that I wanted to be. And I pray to my God that you seen what I seen. And I wanna give everything to my queen. Cause my love is real, ain't no faking with me. Cause my heart was broken while chasing a dream. Whatever it take, I'ma make you believe. Cause God in His grace, it will stay on the scene. Whatever we facing, just know I won't leave. Whether it's big or it's little, I know we can be the king and the queen of our family tree. Now we just gotta release everything we don't need. The friends that are fake, just let them all leave. I know what you want and I know what I need. Somebody for me that believe in my dream. When it's time to relax, you say, baby, just breathe. And you let me know that you're proud of your king. I can tell you that there's no one prouder than me. The little things, baby, I hope you can see. It's the little things that keep you so full of me, that I have to keep pushing me. As long as you real and stay good to me, we know anything else that it shouldn't be. The bigger the vision, the bigger the dream. The bigger we live in, the bigger the team. I will not forget about the little thing. What's the little thing that keep you so full of me, that I have to keep pushing me. As long as you real and stay good to me, we know anything else that it shouldn't be. The bigger the vision, the bigger the dream. The bigger we live in, the bigger the team. I will not forget about the little thing. It's about the little things sometimes, man. Small things count.
Bossman.
That was Little Things by yours truly. So my bro said, man, let's just knock out both of them motherfuckers. So that's what we gonna goddamn do. So the first one we're gonna look at first, I guess I can preface it a little bit. We know in the world today, there's certain things that holds a lot of weight, whether it's morally right, and it's been proven that to be the case. Sometimes you gotta shut the fuck up. I said the same thing about Boosie. But we got this guy. He's an NBA player. He played for the Chicago Bulls. His name is, I believe it's Jaden Ivey. And he made some comments that in reality he shouldn't have. But at the same time, I understand he's standing up for what he believes in. But when you depend on someone to write you a check as a public figure, you're not just representing yourself. Y'all take a look at this and let's talk about it.
That the world can proclaim LGBTQ. Right? They proclaim Pride Month and the NBA. They proclaim it. They show it to the world. They say, come join us for Pride Month, to celebrate unrighteousness. They proclaim it.
Well,
they proclaim it on the billboards. They proclaim it in the streets. Unrighteousness. So how is it that one can't speak righteousness? How is it one that how are they to say that man, this man is crazy?
I'm not the Jay I used to be, but the OJ that's dead. I'm alive in Christ. No matter what the basketball setting is, I'm born again. The Holy Spirit I've been saved by Jesus Christ. No matter what, how many DMPs I don't get to play, or no matter how many points I score, those things are a temporary thing.
All right. So as you heard, that was Jaden Ivey speaking on how he feel about his thoughts on the LGBT community. Jizzle, go ahead, guys. I know you want to say something immediately, and I don't want you to lose your thoughts. So go ahead, bro.
Yeah, what I was gonna say, because he's saying, they proclaim Pride Month. What else does the NBA proclaim that is worldly? Because he's talking about things of the world that the NBA proclaims. Okay, well, they sell beer at the stadium. Are you gonna make a video about all the alcohol that people are drinking, sitting up getting drunk while you play basketball? Are you gonna talk about that? Or like, yeah, it's from a perspective of you signing this contract. You've laid in bed with this entity called the NBA, which is of the world. And I know there's this whole thing be in the world, not of the world type thing. But yeah, man, I just hope he got something else going for him to where he can take whatever money he got and feed his family or whatever, whatnot. Because he fucked it up with that. You go at the LBGT, yeah, you gone.
You're right. And, like my response was to you, it was similar to what Stephen A. said. You whether you're right or wrong, if you're going by what you've read in the Bible or whatever the case may be, or what God said about this, we talked about this earlier. You are not to judge. It's not your place. It's not your place. That's his place. If it's in the Bible and this is what it says, and some people don't believe everything they read in the Bible, well, cool. Whenever everyone is done on this earth and you have to go meet your maker, that's the time you will be judged about what was done here. I understand he wants to stand up for what he believes in. I get it. But you are representing not only Jaden Ivey, you're representing the Chicago Bulls and the NBA. And the NBA and the Chicago Bulls, they're about money. It's a business. And if you take a certain group of people away from how we pay you, you gotta go, bro.
Right.
They don't want money just from heterosexuals. They want it from every goddamn body. And you making this statement hinders that, whether you believe that or not, my brother.
Yeah. Yeah. He should have spoke to Kyrie before he did that. Kyrie Irving definitely knows a thing or two about personal beliefs and what he says about his personal beliefs and how to tread that work-life balance a little better than that. Because there you can have your beliefs, but the way you say them, the way you do them, and all of that, it comes into play because you a millionaire slave. That's what you are. You just like the rest of us, goddammit. We go out here to these places, we work, we punch clocks, do all this shit for these green papers with dead hypocrites on them. And you doing the same damn thing. It's just your shit a little bit bigger, but you still got someone signing your paycheck. So
yeah. Absolutely. Boy, you make it hit hard when you say that. You're $1 million slave, but it is true. But it don't matter how you look at it, that's true. D-Love said, did somebody ask him something for him to respond? Not that I know of, D-Love. I don't know what made him get on Instagram Live and say these things. Like I said earlier, whether they are true or not, you know how the world is today. I think we was talking about the laws, and I think Chloe said something about this. You have to live by the laws of the land. This is what I was talking about. And this is not actually a law, but you know the support that this group has from the rest of the world. And you gonna say some shit like that, bro?
Yeah.
You can have your thoughts and your feelings about what they do and how they live, but just like you was bringing up earlier, Jizzle, they selling beers. We have so many drunk drivers who's killing people every day. Nobody says nothing about that. So there's so many things that may be in that great book that we don't supposed to do. You can't single out one thing and just start to point the finger at these people. You can't do that, bro. That's not fair. You cannot be the judge because that's not your position, bro. It's his. So whether you read it and it makes all the sense to you in the world, it doesn't give you the right to go start pointing fingers and start trying to crucify people. That's not your place. That's his. So just keep living your life like you was doing, get your paycheck, and that's it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Makes complete sense. Cupcake in the building. What's good?
What up, Nicky New? D-Love say, can't pick and choose what to preach about. Facts. And that's what the world does, man. That's what the world does. There's a lot of things in that great book that we shouldn't be doing. But we do anyway. But some of us want to pinpoint certain things. It's just like when I put a post up on Facebook about, the order. Husband, wife, kids. No, man, look here. Nobody want to hear that shit. Excuse me. They don't want to hear that. Why? Because you say, who you going to save? Wife, husband, or kids? And if you say the wife or the husband, you ain't shit. But that's what God said. That's what God said.
I will say what he said at the end. I guess he was in a locker room. I completely agree with that whole statement, and I almost wish I could hear it again. Was that that was on the side. We can't go straight to it, but what he said at the end, though, I believe was all true. If he really feels like that, that's all true, and it has nothing to do. He didn't really say nothing bad about the LGBTQ in that moment. He was just speaking about his personal walk when he says, what did he say? Something about, all of this, which I took the this as the NBA is temporary, where, it's all about your personal walk and your, like, if he really believes that, then that means these statements that he said, he don't give a fuck about that check.
He don't.
Okay, well, fuck the NBA
don't.
then.
Absolutely.
So when he said that, to a certain extent, he kind of cleaned the shit up. I ain't gonna lie, because he obviously like, man, look, I'm going through my walk. For me to feel right, I gotta say this. But again, with that, he's picking and choosing what to, point out. And everybody's got their certain things that they this sin is greater than that sin and all. I don't want to get into that, but so when he did say that end part, it kind of gave me some more understanding as far as why he would even say it, with knowing that he signed this contract with this franchise.
You think he's thinking long term instead of what I'm benefiting from on earth far as a paycheck versus my beliefs? Do you think that's what it is? Because if you think about it, I know this man is not stupid. Matter of fact, his mother is a teacher at Notre Dame, or might be a coach at Notre Dame. She's been doing this for years. She knows better than that. But he still stepped out and said what he said. And I know his mom probably reassured him that he understands, son, you can't do this, you can't do that. But he did it anyway. So maybe he doesn't care.
He don't. Right. And I had, that was the first time me seeing that end part. But yeah, that's kind of what I took away from that end part. Like, well, fuck it then. You know? So he got let go of. Chicago Bulls said, hey, wipe their hands. Hey, you know, I don't know if he was a role player. I don't know what, you know, I don't watch the Bulls, but
he's a good player. He is a good player. I mean, he's not the star, but he is a good player.
Okay.
And he was getting a nice, decent check, but man,
that's wild. A lot of people in his position would not do that. Nope. And I think if that's truly what he believes and he's really living that life like that, I do think it's something to be said for that, because a lot of people wouldn't do that or don't feel strongly enough about anything to jeopardize the money that they're getting based on beliefs type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, Chloe done pop back up.
Yeah, if you think about it, man, if this is how I'm taking care of my family,
right,
and I believe more about my beliefs than what it takes to take care of a family, you just gotta let it go, because that tells me he knew and understood the consequences of this speech that he made on Instagram, and he just didn't care. So, what up, Chloe?
He's gonna have to work it out with God, because I remember when he was talking there, it took me back to a childhood sermon I heard, and it didn't make sense back then until I got older. Where God says, you know, some people translate that God says not to work on Sundays, but if you have a job that you're required to go to work on Sunday, God don't want you to lose your job and you can't support your family because you got to be at work on Sunday.
Facts. I would say facts to that.
What religion is that, man?
I don't know if the preacher was saying that just because he wants to make sure you bringing in money in the offering plate, but I'm just saying.
Well, I think that's Old Testament, if I'm not mistaken.
But you see what I'm saying? So that it kind of does go back to God saying you got to live by the law of the land where we're at. You know, and if you're gonna walk that walk and say, you know what, I can't do this because of the ABC community. Okay, well, what job are you gonna go get that doesn't support that in some fashion to where you can support your family now?
This is what you call stepping out on faith, because you know the consequences of your action, but you still decide to do it because God said.
That is not stepping out on faith. That's stupidity, unless he's going to become a minister.
That is stepping out on faith.
Is he becoming a minister?
I don't know what he
because that's the only profession I can come up with that the ABC community is not affecting in the world today. If you go to work at the gas station and they come in, your money is still coming, a percentage of your paycheck is still going to come from a customer that's in the ABC community.
Reason why I said what I said is because he knows off rip, when I say this, I'm going to lose my job. Now, God, I believe in you, and I'm going to serve you, and I'm going to teach your word, and that's what he did. And now he lost. Hold on. He lost his job. Now, God, just like Job. He stayed faithful. He lost everything. But guess what happened after that? He gained the world. So that's why I say this man is stepping out on faith, because now what he believe in, he speak and put out there for the world to hear, and he lost his job. Now that lets you know he believes God is going to control the rest of whatever happens to him. Because I just lost everything, but I still believe in you, Lord. That's why
I don't know the man to know how true his faith might really be. To me, it sounds more like he probably was going to get fired for something else, so now he's just going to
Hey, he might have a trucking company or something. Who knows? You know what he, you could be a trucker all day and talk that shit, So there are professions where, that shit don't,
Y'all stop it, man.
No. The trucking company's still going to have the ABC community, because what you going to do, turn down a load? You gonna
I mean, if you own a truck, if you got to you own trucks.
But how far are you willing to take that research to find out what the merchandise is in your truck and where it's going to and who's getting and benefiting from it?
Hey.
See what I'm saying? So if you're gonna step out on that ledge, you got to step all the way out on that ledge.
Nikki News say, stop worrying about other sins. Go help the unfortunate. The Bible is very clear about that. She also said most churches are steady preaching about other sins without so much as a food
a food pantry.
Well, I'm just saying, that's why I said you can't pick and choose what you want to preach on.
You can't, and that's what a lot of people do.
If that's the case, well, let's start get the 10 Commandments put back into schools. We could go so far. You just picking one topic.
I mean, it was so, I hate to use the word, but it was a social suicide. It was a, career suicide.
Yeah, it was.
He's the martyr. I'm going to jump on the sword type of thing going on.
I don't know him, so I don't know how true is he in his faith with God. But being that he didn't bring up any other issue besides the ABC people, then that leads me to believe that it was ulterior motive.
What's up, Nikki New?
Hey, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
What's good?
What's your thoughts, Nikki?
I'm good. So, I was raised very religiously, and I was always taught that homosexuality was a sin. And there are definitely parts of certain behaviors that I'm just not down with. I guess I've learned over my life that the people that you should look towards are the people that need your help. The Bible is very clear about who you're supposed to be an aid to and what your responsibilities are as a true Christian. The way you present yourself as a Christian to the world is very important, because if you do not assume that responsibility in a fair-minded and almost a Jesus-minded way, you are going to lead people away from salvation. And you're going to lead people away from embracing the virtues that Christianity can be in the world. My job is not to condone or not condone people's behaviors. My job as a Christian, my job as a human being, is to look out into the world and see who I can help. Period. Who is suffering? Who is suffering around me?
It's to help. I think, and the thing I think is, people think that whole you going to hell, fire and brimstone. I think they look at it like that's help. Like, me telling you about yourself is gonna help you.
Right.
So I definitely agree with what you said on that.
The Bible bashers. That's what they call them down here.
Say that again.
Bible bashers, where they're just like trying to beat you
Yeah.
over the head with the Bible and say,
Yeah,
the
you going
hellfire
to
and
hell.
brimstone. You're
Yeah.
going to hell for this, that, and the third. But
Well,
they
I
run
mean,
into somebody like myself, they're gonna get questioned. And y'all know I am not nothing about eating no fish tacos ever in my life. But I'm gonna throw something back at you and I'm gonna say, okay, so what if you're in a homosexual marriage because they're legal now, and then you get salvation? But God says you got married in front of God. You know, you can go so many routes with that. And I still think this guy is just picking and choosing his preaching sermons. That's all it is.
well, I mean, I've been married before, right? I've been married and divorced. I mean, when I stood at the end of the aisle, I mean, I took vows, right? I upheld my vows. That didn't mean I didn't end up getting divorced. What I ultimately understand is that legal piece of paper is a contract between me and another human being and the state and the federal government. Okay. So, and you learn that when you go through a hardcore divorce, one that you didn't, one that you didn't file for, that you had to fight in. That's when you learn that marriage is way more than some religious institutional situation. But that's that's something you learn in life. We have churches in this country that have nonprofit status and don't even have food banks. They don't even have outreach to serve the poor, or when they do, like we have up here in Flint, that outreach is a grant to give
Right.
some dirty pastor 65 to $125,000 a year.
Well,
So believe me, I don't give it.
that can
Yeah,
go both because it can go with that, or the grant money can be used. If the money is going to get
right. Yeah, I
canned
would.
goods and all of that, like it can be used. That 501 can be used to
Oh
do
yeah,
some great things in the community.
and I was
But it's
specifically speaking about up here in Flint. So I wasn't speaking about the nation in general. But you see, if you want to like in because I'm a Christian and a Buddhist, right? And in Buddhism there's no proselytizing. There's no attempting to convert anybody to anything. You're not supposed to preach. You're not supposed to impose. Your job is to be an example. Your job is to be well informed enough that if anybody ever wants to ask you a question or has thoughts about it, that you've studied enough the Dharma that you can lead them in some kind of direction that might be good for them. I don't need. See, I was raised by Christians that I viewed as being way off track, and quite frankly, them being as off track as they were, as preachy as they were, as diabolical as they were, led me away from the Bible, led me into the fucking wilderness. Why did I end up in the goddamn wilderness? Because of the Christians I was raised around. You have to be very careful how you deal with people, because even if you view them as being a quote sinner, we're all here, we're all suffering with something. We all got our pain in some kind of way. You're better off figuring out how you are like somebody than how you are different from them.
I would like to say this, Nikki, going back from what you said of being misled away. Because one thing we do know, there are certain, I guess you could say, preachers, pastors, hopefully they're of God, that are lenient to the fact that people are homosexual.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then you have some preachers who will crucify you. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got no love for you whatsoever, or they don't have no excuses of why you are the way you are, versus someone who might say, okay, we should love you and blah, blah, blah. That's what created this issue in the world, because regardless of what the word says, you got some people who are leaders leading you, letting you feel like it's okay, and then you have some that's saying it's not okay whatsoever. So it confuses people.
It's the difference between the Old Testament and the New Testament. Old Testament is the hellfire and brimstone. The New Testament is bring them to Jesus.
Yeah, that's kind of
And I
what a
think
lot
at
of
the end of the
what-
day, it's between each individual person, whatever their sin may be, between them and God.
That's why we should not judge no one. And that's why I said that earlier. Even though you might have read this in the Bible and you strongly believe it, it ain't your place to judge them. Let them do it. They have to deal with that when they die and go see God, not you. So just let it be.
And that's
don't speak on this shit. Let the shit be.
That's the New Testament. Judge not, lest you be judged.
And I mean, I think my understanding of things has changed a lot, because like I had a near-death experience where I had the life review, and where I, had to sit there and give an account for my life. And I ended up back here. Everybody has these theirs go different, but I just don't think that I think that what we have been presented is way more complex. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. Well, I'll say this as a woman, right? He must be single, because I'll tell you what, if I was with somebody and they were making that kind of money, and they went out and they started running around and talking like that, that man would be afraid to come through the front door after that shit went down. Because you see, whatever, social media is a thing where, I mean, if that's the hill you want to die on, and if that's the hill you want to ruin your financial future over, you can go right ahead and do it. That's not the hill I want to die on. I mean, and I'm not saying that isn't the hill he wants to. I'm not saying this is going to destroy his career. But I view having a, I mean, Blake's an athlete. Athletes are different types of human beings. I wish that I had been born with the discipline and the tenacity and like the fortitude of like an athlete. I mean, if I could ask God to like make me different in any kind of way, I'd be like, why don't you give me some of that athlete blood? You know what I mean? Because it's so incredibly different. But I would just want somebody who had attained that kind of mobility in life, financially and personally, to realize that they'd also been given a blessing from God to have arrived at that place, and possibly look at that spot as kind of like the sanctuary that God created for them.
So I wanna before we get up out, I know boss probably about to get up out of here. Explain, because some people probably listening, when you say the phrase "I'm a Christian and a Buddhist," I guess explain it, I guess, in as short form as possible. I know that's like nails on a chalkboard, but explain, I guess, when you say that, what that means.
I'm glad you brought that question up, because I want to know too. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, the 3 Abrahamic religions, okay, one of them you can only be Muslim, not anything else. Judaism, depending on the way you practice Judaism, that's a yes or maybe a no, but more generally, it's a yes. Buddhism is not like the Buddha is not a savior. The Buddha does not offer you salvation. He's a human being, not a god. So in Buddhism, you can be multiple religions. Like you can be, like we even have terms for them, like a Jubu or a Kathabu, like if you're Catholic and Buddhist or Jewish.
What I took, it's kind of like a school of thought, more or less. Is that in my?
Well, you
Off?
can. I'll make it very easy. There's you can use Buddhism in different ways. Like you can be a religious Buddhist like I am, or you can use Buddhism kind of from a psychological stance.
That's what. That's
Yeah,
what whatever I did my little dive into it. That's kind of the interpretation that I grabbed from it, where it's more like
yeah,
a mental type of thing.
and it doesn't run contrary to like other religions. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you can be multiple things in it. And I think when I was studying Buddhism, I was at that period in my life where like I rejected organized religion because of what I had been through. And then once I heard actually you can be Buddhist in another religion, and when I heard like we don't convert people, don't proselytize, I was like, sign me up. You know what I mean? Like, um, so yeah, you can be multiple things. And so I am Christian, you know, like I do recognize like Jesus Christ as the savior of mankind. Like, so and I view the story of Jesus as being like the story of original man. I think a lot of times, you know, especially like in different communities, they'll say, oh, well, this doesn't relate to us because it's from this time period or whatever. I just view it as like the story of original man. Like once man got the ability to write and transcribe and pass things on, historically, we weren't in that space where we could write down original man's struggle. So Jesus, to me, represents original man. Like original man. Like it says in the
Okay.
Bible, you know, he formed original man from like the dust. So that's just how I see it. And I
Okay.
just want people to realize that I think the greatest thing you can do is be there for somebody if they're suffering. Like condemnation only goes so far. Trying to reorient somebody only goes so far. But what goes the long way is to identify suffering and do something about it. That's just all. But thank
Okay.
you.
I appreciate you. I just want to play this real quick. Ask one question, see what you thought. Says we ain't got to dwell on it because there's not enough information out yet about this situation. And what am I talking about right now? Let's take a look at
The
it.
attorneys for the man accused in the assassination of Charlie Kirk are asking a judge to delay an upcoming hearing set for May. Tyler Robinson's legal team says they need 6 months to review the massive amount of digital evidence in the case. And they also made a new claim in the filing, saying the ATF was unable to match the bullet fragment recovered from the autopsy to the rifle that Robinson allegedly used in that attack.
Now, just to repeat exactly what she said, which I feel like that's probably the reason why they can't. She said the bullet fragment. We don't know how big that fragment is. So I'm pretty sure if it's a small fragment of a piece of a bullet, it's going to be hard to connect it to this particular gun. So my question is, do you think the defense is going to get somewhere with this and this guy's going to walk, or he's going to be convicted? I guess that's the question.
Yeah, I gotta. I haven't heard. That was the first time me hearing that. You know, but if it's a fragment, you know, how do you, from a fragment, how do you tell? I mean, the material, you know, I don't know, but I thought it was kind of how she said they need 6 months to review the digital evidence, but then at the end, at the latter part, said that about the fragment as well. So, I mean, if they can't prove it in court, then they can't prove it in court, and we've seen that before. So I don't know.
You think, and Nikki, do you think that means if it's not proven that the guy's innocent and someone else did it, or they just couldn't prove it?
Well, you know more about like crime and this kind of evidence than I do because you did so many shows on it and stuff. I would just say that at this point, what we've heard from is the defense. Okay, we're not hearing from the prosecution,
Right?
And the prosecution is not going to show people their hand.
Absolutely.
Because the prosecution is where it rides or dies, and you have. And the prosecution is the one that's got to make it stick, right. And they got to make it stick all the way through. So I don't have any idea what to expect. I mean, I just hope that justice prevails, whatever that ends up being.
Yeah.
And I just wish people would get their heads straight. Like, I just wish they just get their heads straight and realize that, like, in this day and age, we don't need to be assassinating people. Look, we've lived through this era already, but let justice prevail.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think as far as the burden of proof, I think what she's basically speaking on, as far as the prosecution, that burden of proof is on them, and we'll see what they got. What you think, Bob?
I truly believe, because they found the gun where they found it at, and it was outside of where the trail, should I say where he traveled from getting off of the building. They found the gun. They assumed this is the alleged gun that killed the bullet that killed Charlie Kirk came from. Right. So if they cannot prove that, and they don't have no other proof or other footage, he can walk.
Then what would prove it would be what? The only thing that, in that case, what you saying, the only thing that could prove it is the trajectory then, right? Like the angle.
Yeah, that's a part of it as well.
But is that beyond a shadow of a doubt an angle of a bullet?
Nope.
So I mean,
they can be like it was somebody else, but of course, from the footage, we didn't see nobody but him.
Right.
But that defense is gonna ride on that. They're gonna ride on that the whole way through. You can't even match this bullet with this gun. So how can you say, without a shadow of a doubt, that it came from his gun? And if they can't prove that, that dude will walk, bro. He will walk. It's sad, but that's just the way the law is. If you can't prove it without a shadow of a doubt, he walks.
And this is just one thing. This is the last thing I'll say about it. People get to such a high level of visibility, and they're making so much money. And what is the point of any of that if you are not securing your own life? Like, I'm not going to trust the security that they tell me is going to be attached to a contract that I sign. Like it's my face out there. It's my mouth out there. I'm the one under threat. I don't care how much money I'm making. If I want to stay alive, every penny's got to go towards security. You cannot be out here like a sitting duck and not secure your own life.
That's the lesson I think that others will learn with that whole Charlie Kirk, because he built his brand off of being in the midst of the people right there. These people disagree with me. There's 300 people out in the crowd who disagree with what I'm saying. And I'm right here, and I'm taking all of these questions and all, debating with these people that I agree with across from me. So yeah, and with that, the security, heightened security, in which there's no way you can really just 100%. Some of it may be a false sense of security, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's hell. I know some people don't believe this really happened, but 1 inch away, Trump ass was out of here.
Yeah,
You feel me?
that's what Miss Young said. There's so many theories. There's so many. I'll call them conspiracies at this point when you talk about Charlie Kirk, because there's so many. You see, so you type Charlie Kirk in TikTok, man, you're gonna hear 10 different stories. So yeah.
Well, I definitely appreciate y'all for coming up here rocking with me tonight, man. Great conversation, good live.
Yeah,
we'll do a couple of these. Go ahead.
All right. Bye. I love you guys.
Yeah. All right, salute. Appreciate you, Nikki.
I love everyone in the chat. Bye.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. It's been a great discussion, great live. Appreciate YJ, Nikki New, Floyd, and everybody in the chat who participated in the live with their commentary and their comments. See y'all next time right here. Bossman Blake live. Other than that, you got any last words, Jizzle? Jizzle gone. Nikki New here. I think she's gone too. We out of here, man.